Thanks for staying with us. Now, what does it mean to live a life of impact? It deals with moving you from a place of doubt to a place of belief and then into faith. The word impact, on the other hand, in itself is different, as after a soul has been inspired, it then has to move to on to impact, or which deals with action. The world is impacted by ideas that were followed up with action. A life of impact is for people who want to do something significant with their lives. It offers many practical lessons which aims to maximize personal impact. The theories and the philosophies of motivational speakers can be helpful, as I'd mentioned last time, but a living example is worth 1,000 lectures. And our guest today is one person that has truly made significant impact, backed up with lots and lots of action. All right, so are you living a life of impact? What's your story on impact? Please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So I want to quickly ask the ladies, are you living a life of impact?
I will say
Dr. Kaffy.
100.
I am Dr. Kaffy.
I will say 100% yes. Because thinking as an educator, thinking as a human being, thinking as an individual who has to deal with people every day, you have to live a bit of yourself. And what's that bit of yourself? Creating an avenue where you have a positive impact on anyone you get to meet. It could be,
That comes across.
it could be just to make them smile. It could be to give them direction. It could be redirecting their steps. It could be giving them a reason to go on. In one way or the other, yes, I am creating an impact.
How about you, Elsa?
So I think impact needs to be demystified. It's not such a big deal as we make it out to be.
Absolutely.
Just making someone smile, just being the reason that the next person has a meal to eat for even just for a day is an impact. So I don't think it's I think it's something that everybody can be part of in their own little way. If it's just somebody's birthday and you do something to make the person smile, that's an impact. Every little act counts. Every act is important. So for me, we need to begin to understand that impact is just that day-to-day living in consideration of the next person. And of course, not losing yourself in trying to make every other person happy. But you know what? Every little thing counts, and that's what I see as impact.
I mean, when they say that little drops of water make it an ocean, that tells you that impact has never been about the big things. It's about just consistent little things that you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
That's what actually brings the impact. And, you know, we're excited to be hosting our guest again, Kaffayat Oluwatoyin Shafao, popularly known as her stage name, but her stage name, Kaffy, is a Nigerian dancer, choreographer, dance instructor, fitness coach, and author. She's also the founder and the owner of Imagneto Dance Company. She's best known for breaking the Guinness World Record for the longest dance party at the Nokia Silverbird Dance-a-thon in 2006. In commemoration of her 40th birthday, Kaffy published a book titled Alajota, which means someone who chooses dancing as a profession. And in the book, she talks about her struggles, her victories, her fight, and her win. And she's joined us via Zoom again. Hopefully, the network will cooperate.
I need to come to this studio because this network is working on its own divine.
On your own.
I don't understand.
But I mean, you want to quickly share why you didn't make it to the studio, because it's quite an interesting conversation. I mean, we were having that chat around security on the roads, and you know, interesting thing is, if you go on the radio, there's a particular radio station I listen to every day. I mean, people call every single day complaining about that route and about robberies and about bad roads and all of that, seeming like the government has just abandoned that road. I mean, it's very, very sad, you know. You want to share a little bit on that?
Yes, it's really sad because it's one thing to be mentally and psychologically drained by heavy traffic congestions on a daily basis when you're coming to and from work, and that already affects your productivity. Then it's more traumatizing to be living in fear of who is the next car that will be jacked. You understand? So you are just one car away from being the next victim. That's the way the numbers have risen. So I have had, I've experienced it twice myself, you know, being robbed in a vehicle. Wow. You understand what I'm saying? So, and it was in traffic. you get, and it's really traumatizing. Like you don't even understand yourself for a couple of weeks and months, depending on how aggressive the perpetrators were. So for me, I just avoid anything. First of all, you want to avoid late night waka. But it now looks like the later you can go and avoid traffic so that you can speed, the better for you. So late night is unsafe, but it is safer than being in traffic that's supposed to be during the early hours of the day. That's supposed to be safe. So the question of safety is really psychologically tasking. So yesterday, day before that, I was in traffic for close to 10 hours of my day.
Wow.
10 hours of my day in traffic. I could have been more productive with that time. I am someone that I'm very intentional with my time. I'd rather be at home, be on live chat, and be impacting for 10 hours than be in traffic and I actually didn't achieve anything.
Absolutely.
So I hope that the right authorities are looking into it. It's one thing for people to be struggling for a daily living and having to go through the traumatic and depressing effect of being stuck in one place for a long time, achieving only one thing per day. Then your safety to achieving that one thing is questioned. Do you know that last night, one of the dancers in our community was shot at coming down from his Uber in Surulere, Eric Moore. It's just like he has gotten home. Let him get down and enter his compound.
Wow.
He was shot at. He said what saved him, the bullet hit his perfume bottle in his backpack. So he was trying to escape. They shot at him. So the bullet penetrated his bag, but hit a bottle, which actually stopped the impact from hitting. It probably would have hit his spine. And probably, I don't know what we'll be talking about now. Yesterday also, we had another artist that was in traffic and he posted it. So, I don't know. It's very crazy.
We have not mentioned your particular road, though. You want to mention it or we just...
Yeah. We're talking about this Lekki Express axis, especially. It happens along Lekki Express. One of the most, I would say, the great area is Badore Ado Road.
Yes.
It's worse. All residents there, like we have resident meetings on safety alone almost every week. You can get robbed early in the morning, early as 5 a.m. because there's the heavy rush. You can get robbed as late as between 6 and 8 p.m. Then you don't have the cultist activities as well. So it's too much. You don't even know which one do you want to choose.
Wow.
And there's a local government chairman and all.
There's a local government chairman.
But anyway,
so let's just move into our conversation. I mean, we had a fantastic chat with you until the network decided to be nice with us last. And you were talking about, because I remember asking you, the last question I had asked was that you are one person that I see and you inspire a lot of people in terms of, just watching your life is an inspiration to so many people. And I was wondering how that inspiration, how it's coming out from the place of your mind. Because, I mean, it only takes someone that has risen to a certain level in their mind space to live the kind of life that you're living and impact the way you're impacting. And I also remember asking about, your relevance, staying relevant, because as you are now, you're not particularly the young 20-year-old or anymore. You're a lot older, but you still have been able to keep your the energy and the relevance in the space that you have found yourself, which is the dance space, and all of that. So, I mean, maybe we'll just pick up from there, then we'll continue the conversation. Okay. For those that have not seen that one, please go to YouTube. I cannot go back.
So, talking about relevance, I had the same conversation at an interview today. And they were like, how do you stay famous? How do you I'm like, the idea was not to be famous, first of all. Relevance and fame are kind of like interrelated in a way. Relevance is saying you are still in the minds of people. And I did not set out on this journey to look for glorification and validation for people. I set out on this journey to shatter boxes, to change perception, and to change the narrative when it comes to human excellence, expectations, and how you can live an excellent life. And an excellent life should not be defined by societal acceptance, economic acceptance, or cultural or religious acceptance. it should be first self-acceptance. And I am on this journey and still relevant to this journey because I'm not done. I have a vision. So I think one of the blessings for my life is that my journey is so powerful that the process of it keeps me relevant to people. I think that's what it is. I'm still on the journey. I'm still on the process. I've not even gotten to where I'm going yet. Some people believe that when they get popular, that's it. For me, popularity is just one of the keys to the city. Where I'm going is much more. There are many more doors to be unlocked.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we're talking about living a life of impact, and I'm sure you heard our banter before you were introduced.
Yes.
So I want to know what you think about impact. When you think about it and how you're deliberately living your life, how do you define it for you to help you channel your purpose properly?
First of all, we need to understand that as human beings, we are a bundle of energy. We exist as energy. If you are in a room, somebody feels your presence. They can feel your presence from your physical appearance, or from even your smell, or from what you say, what's in your mind, or just by who you are in that room. Somebody can look at someone and say, I just like this man, just they laugh. Oh my God, I just like the way she's laughing. She didn't say anything to you. She was talking to somebody else. She was smiling, but she was making your day just because she's smiling at someone else and you're appreciating the smile. That's an impactation on its own. So for me, I believe that setting your course in life or being on a journey through life is a life of impartation because you are not even supposed to exist by yourself. Mankind was created for impartation. You understand? So when God said, be fruitful and multiply with who? By who? For who? It's for the world, for you, for the world, for who you are, what you can be. So if people are shy, I hear a lot of people say, it's not my job to influence. It's not my job. Am I their parent? Let me be who I want to be. I'm not anybody's mother. I'm not anybody's to see whether you like it or not, whether you are deliberate or not, you are imparting every second of your life. That is who we are. Somebody is influencing somebody. We are influenced. Influence is existing because your energy is going to what? Be attracted by another energy or be repelled by another energy, which is the reason why we're not all called for the same kind of people. We're not all called for everybody. I learned that the hard way. I am I want to help the world kind of person. And I realized that I am not God. The only person that can help the world at once is God. I can't do that. So yeah, that's what impartation is for me. It's impartation is becoming you.
Becoming you.
Just be you. You're already doing that. Whether you're like, just becoming you. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
I like the fact that you said about the impactation being you. Now, let's look at 5 years of when you decided to go for the marathon dance and what you achieved when you did that. Would you say that today we have youth that have the same drive to make that impact in the society?
I'll say yes, we do. We definitely have a lot of disoriented. We have a lot of wrongly conditioned youths, and ain't we all? I feel that an average young adult, you and I, have been conditioned by one way or the other by our upbringing, our society, our religion, and this is actually a mirror of what all that is what we are seeing in the youth of today. They did not just come from, they are not aliens. The youth of today did not come from space. They are a product of the world we laid on the ground. That's what we are seeing.
Absolutely.
Do they have the fight? Do they have the fire? Yes, it's available, but it's dwindling because there's frustration setting in. When a voice is suppressed for too long and it's not allowed to express, and it's now put on the speed train called the new age era of information, it will get into a point whereby the system can fry for information overload. Why? Because it has not been built in to have the capacity to understand how to disseminate information and apply and implement it. That is one of the major problems we have with the youth today. Not that they don't have a powerful engine. It's not about the power of the engine. It's also about the entire system that carries that power, that force. If the system is not built to protect it from itself, it will blow up.
Absolutely. You know, I like when you started the conversation, when you said that, you know, you didn't set out to be famous. You understand? You did not set out to be famous. Sadly, because when Isi asked the question around the youth, you know, a lot of young people now, and I wouldn't say it's a wrong thing or is a bad thing. A lot of young people now that want to go, especially into the entertainment space, you know, because first of all, we have too many young people that want to sing. Yeah. You go anywhere, they're handing you CDs. Everybody wants to become an entertainer because somehow at the back of their mind, they just believe that, you know, entertainment is the ticket to being great and all of that. I mean, the entertainment world have really impacted the minds of young people, you know, to that extent that a lot more people want to go into music and all of that. You know, but, you know, when you talked about not setting out for popularity, I am thinking in my mind that a lot of young people today, that is the main goal. So they start from, you know, so would you call that a wrong setting? Starting from the mindset that I want to be popular, I want to blow. Is that wrong, or it is not all that bad?
Sadly, it's a very tricky question. Why? Because I won't say fame is bad. I just say fame as a tool. Fame is not a destination, it's a tool. And whether you like it or not, whether you aim for it, to use it, or not to use it, it will use you. Wow. It's not a tool that stays useless. It will, yeah, it doesn't, it's like you're holding a radioactive material. If you put it into a nuclear reactor, it becomes a rocket launcher and it can take you to the world. If you keep it in your bedroom and you're not doing anything with it and you only use the part, it becomes radioactive and it starts to give you cancer. So it's something that you need to find a way to use it. You have to use it. Now, the mindset that is using it now is the problem. And that was created by a problem. The society, the economy created this problem. And I'll tell you where the society created the problem. Society created the problem because we are not validating the quality of the people. We are validating it from the eliteness of the people. So the moment you aspire to perspire to desire to become something, and you now eventually just make some money and require and acquire. And you now acquire. Nobody questions the quality of where you're coming from. They look at only your position. So the young people have said, okay, there's no need to disturb ourselves and kill ourselves because right there on the street of Lagos, you, a very well-meaning, well-serving, law-abiding Nigerian are in a Peugeot car and you want to enter an estate. The security will look down on you, talk to you anyhow, disrespect you because you are in the jalopy. He's not even looking at, I am there to serve the guest that came. He's looking at the quality of the guest by the reason of what he looks like and the hayage that he came with. That same person come back tomorrow with a G-Wagon that is not yours. It's not yours. You don't own it. Somebody doesn't borrow you Kadadi. Enter from the entrance. Some people don't even ask where you're going. Babao, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Do you understand? Absolutely. And these young people have seen this happen over and over again. The oppression of struggle. So we do not even celebrate humble beginnings. We do not see pride and celebrate people for the quality of their character, for being just nice verbally and vocally. Nobody wants to do Baba sound. Nobody wants to say, wow, I know I'm a gate man, but I appreciate the way you spoke to me this afternoon. Absolutely. And I just want to say thank you. Rather, that same gate man would rather take insult from a jeep than courtesy from a jalopy.
Absolutely.
So what we have done is we have incubated that into the mind of the young people that the quality of service does not matter. Your journey and your hustle does not matter. Just be rich.
Just blow.
And just be rich. And that rich now, we don't even care where we get it from because nobody looks at you and say the same way a rich man is questioned at the gate is the same way a poor man is questioned at the gate.
Just blow. You know what? Let's take a very short break. We want to go and blow.
Okay. Want to go and blow?
You're still watching Ways. Now, if you just tuned in, we're having an amazing chat with Kaffy on living a life of impact. Now, please let us share what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. All right, so we are back from blowing.
I hope you blowed properly.
I know, I just blew. Elsie, go ahead.
Okay, I mean, I love your mind. You are giving us nuggets that if we sit down to listen to this conversation over and over again, we definitely have a lot of quotes that we need to push out there to encourage somebody. Absolutely. But I want to take you back to the industry you have helped created, which is dance. It's been over 10 years. This is me not trying to make a mistake now. So let me just leave it at over 10 years, right? And a lot is going on in that space. We've seen people in the industry come out to complain. We've seen disrespect. We've seen people being underpaid. We've seen disrespect when it comes to the talent and creativity that a dancer brings to the table. So what more do you think can be done? Because I think you've done a lot to let people understand that this is a profession that needs to be respected and properly valued. What more do you think can be done? And do you also think it's a factor of the kind of people that are coming into dance as a business? Do they understand it as a business?
That's a good question.
Thank you for that. That's such an insightful direction for this conversation, because you've actually pinpoint a lot of pain points that, affects us. Number one, dance in Nigeria especially is a low-level entry trade or business. Low-level entry means anybody that moves, that they clap for in church or in a naming ceremony, goes to go and print card and say it's a dancer. Social media even made it worse. By the time one little child with pants sagging, half clad, just start doing like this, it becomes viral. Parents say, go and dance, you're a dancer. Me, I want to ask you people one question. Is it everybody that knows how to cook that is supposed to open restaurants?
No.
You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's got to cook. Why? Because it's for survival. We all got to cook one way or the other. Whether you're only cooking is bread and butter, or you're cooking is indomie and egg, or it's edika ikong soup. Whatever it is, the baseline of cooking is survival. Dance is communication. It's part of our African heritage. It's imbibed in us. Whether we like it or not, we love to dance. We love to dance to express. When we have the coronation of kings, we dance. When we are expressing war, we dance celebrating New Yam Festival. We dance for marriage. We dance for. So in our culture, dance is already embedded. So an average young child in Africa should and can dance. However, should everybody be pursuing dance as a career? Capital, no. Unfortunately, hustle and poverty has caused it to a point whereby, because dance is art and can be consumed in any form, which is they say beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. So I can be doing a particular dance that is supposed to be structurally correct, but to a layman, it's too hard. Which kind of dance? I can't pay to watch this dance. But somebody else will come and all he's doing is like a one corner move, and they'll be like, yay! And they'll rather hire that person to their show. I don't know if you're understanding it.
Yeah.
So you have a conflicting balance of where the structure is supposed to tilt towards. Because you can't even have a structure because the consumers themselves don't even know the quality of what they should be buying.
You
understand?
I just wanted to, add to Elsie's question. So how do you then attract the right, first of all, the right clientele and the right pay, as a dancer? Because it's actually, this low barrier to entry is a big deal. Because anybody can just walk in, and you're already there in the dance group. Okay.
One of the first steps is continuous education, both for the consumer and for the practitioner. Consumers need to understand what quality looks like, should be like, quality service supposed to feel like, not just take anything that seems to excite your crowd. You understand? Because that is where a lot of rubbish enters the system. And some people also go for cheape. That whole idea of, some people are, let me just put it that way. I've seen a structure in a company where the people at the top don't really see the quality that their staff at the bottom is putting out to the market. So what they'll do is that ip the boss says hire Kaffy's company, because they'll put these things in order to achieve the promotional goal that we want to attain by engaging her services. Now, this person comes to a cafe and says, I can't pay 1 million naira, but finds a young dancer on the street that when he was passing Ojuelegba, found people gather the person and say, since people can gather this guy can also make my crowd in my office shout and gather. Because the crowd in the office are people that don't even see social media, they don't have time for anything, they don't see anything. They say that kind of thing, they all shout. Oga watches tape, crowd have shouted, no problem, case is closed. That child is giving 50K. Are you seeing that now? So first of all, there's a corruption in the system that hires, that would rather go for cheap than go for the structure, until it becomes something that they know that the money, they are too afraid to give a child that has never seen 500K to go and give that person 2 million naira. They are afraid that they will lose their money. That's when they will call Kaffy. So when it comes to the very big things that they know that their guys will question, they will call Kaffy. When it comes to the thing that maybe nobody's looking at them and you can just hire anybody, so you have that one going on one side, which also makes the young ones believe that, why do I need to come to Kaffy to train? Because somebody's already hiring me and giving me direct pay. I don't need to come on that Kaffy to start getting paid, and she's also going to teach me how to, because when we are paying dancers, make sure that they pay taxes. We make sure, do you understand, agency fees and all of that, which are common, they are norms in any system. They'll be like, why do I want to go and pay agency fee? Why do I want to pay all of that? Under the agency fee, they are protected though. They're protected by law, because if their client doesn't pay or they have issue, we have what we call a system that protects them, because there are legal services that we also have to provide as a corporate entity. We have insurance that needs to cover them in terms of welfare and safety. The dancer would rather plunge in the shadow of, I will take a risk at 100K than be safe with 50K. I don't know. So I'm fighting that problem. However, it is already, see, the one thing is that mediocrity will always have a way of fading out. It's time. We are at the point whereby people's taste buds for quality is increasing every day. You understand? It's just a matter of time when all these microwave performances will be outdated, and you would have to be compelled to give people money that services for the money that they paid for. So I feel that the solution is continuous education, we were not going to relent in instilling the structure and working with such structure, which is the reason why I incorporated the business from the beginning. I didn't start as a dance crew. I started as a dance company because I wanted to emulate the likes of the banking sector, the likes of any of the big corporate sectors. We wanted to make sure we can operate in that light, have young people that can retire with dance, get benefits and all of that. So we're not going to stop. We're still pushing for it, and
awesome.
God help us.
You know, there's something you posted about women entrepreneurship on your page, the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. Can you just touch a bit on that again with your career? I mean, this is somewhat like a male-dominated industry, right? So how are you encouraging more women to come into the dance, and again, you see, I hate to be like a stereotype, but when it comes to dance, and you're a woman, people would not help but wonder, how is that impacting your family life, right? So business-wise as a woman, then also the impact, because a lot of men will tell their wives, you can't come and be shaking bum in a meet. They don't want to see that it's professional, right? The impact of, the kind of skimpy dresses you would have to wear in some music videos and all of that. How has that impacted you personally? And also, how are you helping other women entrepreneurs, to be in this business?
Okay, first, we're talking about AWE. I think it's such an amazing initiative because it's bringing the like minds, because that's the thing. What you just talked about still boils down to the circle of people. Circle of people. The circle of people that will think that they cannot separate the professionalism from the woman is where you get it wrong in going to marry outside the circle of people that think it's okay.
Sure.
You understand? It all depends on our relationship choices, decisions, and the circle of people. As I am like this now, I cannot go and marry pastor, knowing what I'm doing. How do I want to explain myself? Do you understand what I'm saying? That everything around his school of theology is again, I am just one Shiva. I am one Vashti or Esther. There is nothing that they cannot, it's culturally embedded not to see me as someone that can, woman of grace, God forbid, kind of thing. That's what you're going to get. So I cannot. So let's be realistic with our expectation, even when we are, what will they say, when we are trying to be equally yoked. Go and yoke yourself.
But Kaffy, I will contradict you there. You know Megan Good. Megan Good is married to a pastor, Devon Franklin, and they're doing well. But although the church is always castigating her.
I was waiting for that example. Where are they in? Inside which country they are in? Tell me.
I was going to talk about
which an environment are they operating under? Is Nigeria? It's not. Do you understand? So see, let's be real with ourselves. The environment and the society accepts that, understands that she's even an actress, for goodness sake.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? I have seen her in a lot of love scenes, and I'm like, this woman is fine. If I'm a husband, I'm going to be having a heart attack. I should be discussing different people. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but the society she's in allows her the freedom to be able to separate that character from who she really is, and she can be a pastor's wife who is a new age pastor who says the church is not, God doesn't just live in what you do, but it lives inside of you. Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's just about circle. In terms of impactation and AWE is more or less like bringing women of like minds together, like problems together. Okay, to be able to say, look, well, you're not alone in whatever you're feeling, you're going through your business. Neither are you alone in the kind of solutions that are attainable to you. Can we come together and create that? And that's what the U.S. Consulate and with their partners, Ascend Studios, have been able to successfully do. I've met so many brilliant women that I'm like, thank God you're all here. You understand? And being elected the PRO of the association, the newly formed association, is giving me an opportunity to be able to do what? Expand my horizon, and challenge myself in a position where I can even serve as a woman for women as well. Awesome. So that is very important to me. Now, in terms of work-life balance, there is no blueprint that works for everybody. Really not. Why? Because we are constantly evolving, we are constantly changing. Our needs, wants, aspirations, and steps towards becoming shifts all the time. I want to shift, so many things shifts with it. You understand? Time you have with kids will shift with it. Time you have with spouse will shift with it. Time you have to achieve. So what we do is that we always kind of find a balance every time. So for every 1 hour, maybe I normally want to spend 1 hour with my kids and I only get to spend 10 minutes. I know that there'll be a time that something else will give for me to make up for that time that I didn't have with the kids at that time. Communication also is very, very key. I communicate to my children, not as kids, but as another human form that is living to become through me, because I am on assignment to deliver what God has brought to this life. That's my assignment. I don't own the kids. God does own them. It is my duty to be intentional with their own process, to study them, understand where their natural affinity is going to, and guide them with what the platform of wisdom that I have, and see which one that they will consume and use. Can't force everything down their throat. Absolutely. So I balance stuff with I'll just balance. You don't stay. There is no moment. When you stay, you break. When you stay, you break, because things will move under you. And they'll break you. Yeah.
So if you had one word or 2 words to say to any upcoming individual who is interested in dancing and wants to make an impact in the society, what would you say?
First thing I'll say is, who are you? Because dance is just a cloak you wear to show who you are. So I don't know who you are. But because dance doesn't tell me who you are. Who you are needs to reflect when you dance. You understand? And dance gives you an opportunity to be a chameleon of a human being. It's such a free space to explore different sides of you. Your sexual side. I explore my sexual side. I explore my sensual side. I explore my bold communicative side. I explore my fierce side. Yes, I explore it. So it allows me to morph without worrying about the judgment of people, because we have been grown to worry about people's opinion. It is an African problem. That's how we are grown. So my thought to a young person is, who are you first? See, that question is hard, and it might take you years to discover. Yes. Don't jump at it just because somebody is done. Don't be anything just because somebody is. Be because you want to become. And it's okay to start and stop. You might find yourself liking hairdressing, and you switch into makeup. You might find yourself liking carpentry and you switch into dance. Sometimes just allow the journey. It's a tide. Let it guide you through. Because for every time you move around, the substance that you're going to be that will be sticking to you that you need in the future. So I'll say, take one step at a time. Find who you are. Who you are could be, I want to just entertain. Then you now know what steps to take. Who you are could be, I know that this thing will make a woman happy when she comes to my class, and she will not go back with her sadness. Okay, that's who you are. You're an empath. Okay, can we now start pursuing your career along and don't say, since I like dance and I like to make people happy, what if Kaffy do when she blow like that? Now? So may I just go find one Davido or Whiskey to dance with. So when I just dance with Davido and Whiskey like this, I don't blow. So what happens now is that a lot of them now get those opportunities. I don't know what to do with it. I've seen young people that have broken Guinness World Record recently, and they are still struggling with it. And I was telling them, you thought that was it? You thought that was what kept me going? No, that was a preparation and opportunity meeting themselves at a particular time. If you want to replicate that, please make sure you have substance that platform can ride on. It's almost like having an elevator and it's empty going up.
Okay, let me take this comment from Raphael Akori from Zaira. He says, all what we have acquired in life, ranging from wealth and fame, are just for this side of eternity, because we can take nothing even to the grave. Touch humanity, and that's the legacy we will be remembered for this life. Thank you, Raphael, for that. Yeah, but very quickly, before we end this.
We have 1 minute.
Yes. Kaffy, you mentioned something about the method of dancing earlier when you were talking, and I picked on that. And I want to quickly ask, are you watching Big Brother Naija?
I don't sit to watch it. I only see from what is on the internet.
So do you know Nicole?
Yes. Of course, she's one of the, I've been in my academy. She has worked with me many times, so I know her. I know her more than just the way people know her.
Yeah, so people are sort of criticizing her dancing and saying this is too much. Like what you said, I know if you watch this one is just too aggressive on any sort of song. Do you want to say something on method of dancing? Very quickly, 1 minute, because we have to go.
What I'll just say is Liquor Rose is Liquor Rose. People like her, people love her, people hate her. She's just going to still be Liquor Rose. However she wants to pursue it, express it, is totally up to her. I don't think anybody should be in the place of judging another person's form of expression.
Yes.
Okay, you understand? If we are coming to technicality and all of that, it's a different ball game entirely. But if somebody is freely expressing herself, why should I question? Why should I have a problem with that?
You know, I was asked to ask you, what's your take on Pokoli in 1 minute?
My take on Pokoli. Pokoli is another, let me just say, is another opportunity to what it is that we have in our industry. Just check the music industry. They are the artists that are very grounded technically, can play multiple instruments. They are the artists that are flash in the pan. They have one hit and they are wonders for the rest of their life. There are some artists that are just for that fanfare. On your playlist, my sister, do you have only one musician on your iTunes playlist?
No,
you do not. So Pokoli is an option in the dance industry. His life, his ways, his method is one option. And some people are now, it's like we're creating different carriages. Somebody should just pick the lane they want to be in. He's a lane, a new lane. If somebody can explore that lane and do well, then that's good.
Absolutely. So on that note, thank you so much. Kisses, Kaffy.
Thank you.
We will still do another part. We can't get enough of you. Thank you.
Don't worry, anytime you need me, you know I'll come. I still need to visit the studio.
You have to. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Isi. Thank you, Elsie. Now, before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram. It's at PlusTvAfrica. Kaffy just followed us today. Yay! So you can drop a comment, interact with us further, drop your comment, and more importantly, we're planning a giveaway to say thank you to you for believing in the brand. So do well to follow us. And follow us now is at PlusTvAfrica. Like, share, comment, and invite your friends and family to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. That's from Jackie Robinson. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.